All right, let's go and get started. Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear, and welcome back to Soulstone Survivor and another build guide that we have going for the channel. Today, we're going to be looking at the Hound Master. This is actually a request by one of my viewers, so I really appreciate whenever you guys request this sort of thing. It definitely opens my eyes up to whenever I haven't played a class and or I haven't played enough of it. And I also have been trying to come up with some different interesting builds rather than what just comes in the skill list. So today, again, we're looking at the Hound Master, and specifically one of the weapons I had never used before. Well, really all of them. I actually used this one, which is the Rifleman's Vengeance, because I did a buckshot ammunition build. I believe I actually have the video for that on the channel earlier, but that has been probably about a year or so now since the last time I actually really committed any time to the Hound Master. I was really waiting for the artifact power to come into play, and I really didn't have any interest in a character until the artifact power came into play. And I will say, the artifact power for the Hound Master is actually incredibly strong. I think some of them have incredibly strong powers, other ones not so much, but this one is so much so that I believe when I actually tested out the build we're about to try out today, this actually ranked as my third hardest hitting power for this build that we're going to be trying out. So again, we're going to be using the Toxic Cannon. I do have it at plus 10. The plus 10 Toxic Cannon has plus 30 health, plus 100% crit damage, and plus 55% multicast chance. The Toxic Cannon comes with two skills. The first one is Pesticide Burst, launches a continuous pillar of poisonous fragments in target direction, and applies poison every 0.25 seconds. That's a lot of poison. Of course, this is going to be a poison-themed build, so we're going to be using a lot of poison. So there is that. Threshing Blast. Fires a blast in a cone in front of the target, causing damage based on the number of stacks of poison on the target. Gain ammunition. If you're not familiar with what ammunition is, it's basically a multicast thing, but this one's a little bit different because whenever you cast a skill, you consume 20 stacks of ammunition, add charges of multicast to the skill being used. So this would affect, like, if I was doing Threshing Blast and I was stacking up ammunition and this was the skill that triggered those consumptions, Threshing Blast is the one that would get those extra multicast chances. It's actually really good, and if you decide to go an ammunition build, you definitely get some benefit out of it. But this one really only has, Threshing Blast is the only ammunition skill we're going to be picking up, so we're not going to be relying too heavily on that. Because I was looking at the other skills, and while these poison skills are all really strong, this is kind of run-of-the-mill stuff. We're going to be seeing a lot of Pestilence, a lot of Poison Puddle, Poison Cloud, Acid Rain. Those like abilities, they're pretty much par for the course for a lot of their poison builds, and you really can't go wrong on that. But I do want to try something a little bit different. Just know that if you decide to go the poison skills, you can't go wrong just by picking any combination poison skills with the poison build. That's really strong. But we're going to go ahead and look over the runes, and that's where we're going to change things up again. We're going to take Weapon Expert, so we have both weapon skills. We have Reroll Mastery, of course, to get those extra rerolls. And of course, we're going to be hitting up one of our favorite skills, which is Skill Mastery. And we are actually going to pick Nature, which is where all the poison skills are. And as far as I can tell, the only requirement in order to make sure that you have Skill Mastery Nature is, I believe you have to have the Beast Mastery leveled up to past 60. And then you can pretty much pick and choose which nature skills you have. Let me make sure of that. If you can go to achievements and go to runes, which is this one right here, we'll scroll down a bit, and I believe since I've unlocked it, I should be able to see where it is. There it is. Yes, so you have to reach level 60 with the Beastmaster in order to have skill mastery. No, that's a skill inclination. Okay, where is the skill mastery? That oh, okay. Skill mastery nature. Complete a match in less than 12 minutes with Beastmaster. It's actually still very easy to do because the Beastmaster is very strong. In order to get this skill mastery nature, just complete a match with Beastmaster in less than 12 minutes. If you're having trouble with that, I am working on a beginner's guide for those of you who are unfamiliar with the game or having a hard time. So I'm going to go through the experience myself with a fresh save and see what the experience looks like, because it's been about 3 years since I started playing the game, and I have everything maxed out, so I don't know how that beginner experience is anymore. So I don't really know how much has changed since then. Anyways, we're going to be taking Skill Mastery. We're going to check Nature. And then these are the skills we're going to be using today. I intend to use the 2 weapon skills that are poison-based already that are on the weapon. So I only want to pick about 4 skills that are poison that we're going to swap out for. We are playing a Hound Master, so by default, what we're going to end up probably doing is taking the Putrid Hounds, because why not? They basically do poison damage, and they have cunning on them, which means they'll taunt enemies from time to time. So I'm gonna go ahead and select that one. I also want to have like an aura around me that does poison damage as well. So I'm also gonna pick up corrosion, conjures up aura, poison applies poison every 0.5 seconds, and then explodes, causing damage based on the number of stacks of poison on the target. Awesome, fine. I also want to stay kind of like in like the shot type abilities. I don't want to take any like range or like a melee attacks. That just doesn't feel thematic to a Houndmaster who's done. So what I'm going to take is I'm actually going to take Noxious Shot. Last time I take Infect Shot, you really can kind of pick and choose here because all these skills are very strong. But Noxious Shot fires a shot in target direction that releases 2 secondary bolts on impact and causing poison and gaining aptitude, which increases our crit damage. Not a bad pickup. And then for our last skill, I'm actually going to take Venomous Volley. Fires venomous arcs and arrows in an arc, applying poison and weakness, which is going to make enemies weaker to our negative status effects, aka poison. So there are the 4 abilities that I'm going to choose. If you want to pick some different ones, that's completely fine. Contagion would be a nice pickup if you wanted to go with that, because it just basically explodes around you as an AoE, removes damage. And we've already talked about skills that remove poison and or removes a negative status debuff and you know, does a percentage of the damage. They are all strong. They are very strong. So I'm not even picking the most optimal abilities. I'm just picking ones that seem thematic to the Houndmaster himself. After that, we're going to look at our Tenacity runes. We're taking Dash Mastery because we never leave home without it. Death Touch, because whenever there's a chance, there's going to be a 20% chance that enemies will explode and cause damage around them. That's going to be awesome because we're going to be killing a lot of enemies really fast with this. We'll take an Elemental Flow to make our poison tick 100% or do 100% more damage than it would normally do. It's still going to have the same duration, but just more damage going out. And last but not least, we're taking Vulnerable Exploit because we only have one skill. Actually, I don't think we have any skills that cause dazed. But with this build and the Titans that we're going to kill, we're actually going to be dishing out dazed. So this is just going to amp up our crit damage even further whenever we get the necessary powers. That's where we're going to do that. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and check this out. We're going to go ahead and run through Titan Hunt because I feel like that's pretty much a good place to basically get a good feel for how strong this build is. If you like this sort of content, you want to see more builds like this here on the channel, make sure you are liked and subscribed. And again, I really appreciate for the amount of people who have been joining the channel, liking and subscribing and leaving comments down below. It really helps me out. It's been really helping me feel really good about myself lately and that I'm not alone in the world, but that's my problem, not your guys' problem. And I just, again, thank you. And let's go ahead and start the run. All right, so we're gonna jump in. As you notice by default, we actually have 5 dogs with us. And I did forget to talk about our trait. Let me go into the trait real quick. So as you can see right here, we have a dog meter. As we kill enemies, they're going to be dropping pieces of dog meat on the ground. The more dog meat you pick up, this little dog is going to level up. And as you can see right here, it basically feeds them and makes them stronger. And it'll actually empower your dogs. Your dogs will get a variety of different bonuses. I don't think they're elemental bonuses as far as I can tell, but they just get better. Now, on the other side, our artifact power, they will actually also get stronger, and we'll actually end up sending out more hounds. Actually, no, you know what? I think it might be one and the same. Let's see. Fills up your hound's bowl before they reach it to feed them and make them stronger. Current bonus is level 0. Hound reaches their bowl and it is not full yet. All bonuses are reset. Feral Awakening empowers your companions, transforming them into feral dogs, increasing their stat temporarily. So I think they might actually work in tandem with each other because they are separate. Because even if you don't have a artifact power, they're still going to get this bonus. So I think it just makes them stronger. So anyways, yeah, so as we kill enemies, we're going to see chunks of meat, and we're going to pick them up. As you'll notice, whenever the meat actually drops on the ground, we are going to take Aranak, by the way. Actually, you know, let me just side. Yeah, I have a little menu here. We actually want one that makes poison tick even faster. I think that might be Mezahead. Then we'll go Aranak afterward. Let me see. Is that correct? Yep, we're going Mezahead. But anyways, as we kill enemies, we're going to see pieces of meat on the ground, food for our dogs. And as we pick this up, it's going to level up our dogs. What you're going to notice is that the things of meat that are on the ground are actually going to come in different forms of rarity. And as we make or empower our dogs to be even stronger, one thing you're going to notice is that it's going to take more and more meat to make our dogs stronger, or we're going to need a higher rarity of meat. I think the 4 rarities, I don't know if there's a common meat. There's the blue rarity, there's the purple rarity, which is the one after that one, and then there's a legendary rarity, and those tend to only drop after you've completed or killed a Void Lord. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up Corrosion. That's gonna be our first new ability that we're gonna be using for this one. As you can tell, we have Corrosive up right now, and you can tell by the giant circle ring around us. We're gonna go ahead and start increasing the damage of our poison. I'm gonna try really hard this one, by the way, to focus on only poison. I had a problem earlier when I was testing this build out, by the way, in which I got offered an epic Doom passive, and I instinctively took Doom, because why not? Doom is like one of my favorite ailments or negative status effects in the game, and that ended up actually causing me to end up having a lot more Doom damage and less focus on the poison bit. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know, RNG is what it is. If you get really good rolls, you should absolutely 100% take them. Don't disregard them. All right, looks like we got our first objective, Vultures. We will take them out really fast, and I will say our dogs are going to do a substantial amount of damage. And the cool thing is, physically, our dogs will look different. As you can tell right now, they're those putrid hounds that we were talking about, and when we were looking at artifact power. Free roll to see what we got. We got Noxious Shot, and we are only missing one more skill. We are still collecting the meat up here. We are empowering 4 of our dogs right now. I believe that's how it works. Either that or there's stage 4. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get this reward here. It's hard to say for me personally. I'm not entirely sure. I am going to increase the damage or poison. Again, don't let the rarity fool you. All right, we got Putrid Hounds, our last ability. Like I said before, sometimes you just want to take, you know, what best suits your class. If you're going to pick up something that's not affecting you or is not going to be good for your class, then there's no point in taking it, no matter the rarity. The things that I think that work really well with this character class, we're going to cast frequency, so we can cast as many poison shots and poison abilities as we can. Multicast, obviously really good. I am going to turn down visibility so we can actually see stuff here. And if you are using a controller and you're wondering how I am turning down visibility, no one's brought this up yet, but just in the case of, and I'm going to lock this agile, up and down on the D-pad is actually how I transition from, you know, a lot of effects and stuff on screen to, you know, higher visibility. I know there are definitely some people who might suffer from that and just haven't thought to figure out how to do it, or it just in the back of their mind. So there you go. That's how you do it. Increasing the hound's speed and stuff, increasing anything about your hounds is going to be great because your hounds are going to be with you majority of the time. And as long as you keep them empowered, they're going to be running around doing crit damage, all sorts of things for you. They are going to be a great source for you. Looks like we got Death and Decay. Poison now causes damage more frequently. Absolutely. If we can get the one that causes poison on crit, we're going to even be better. And I think our crit is already at a pretty decent chance. What is our crit at? 35%? Not bad. Not bad at all. There are no like secret things that you should be bringing up. I know like our last build really benefited from things like health because we took like health runes, stuff like that. I would say pick up health where you want or you feel comfortable with, just for survivability sakes. But as far as normal things, crit damage being increased is also very good to have. Powerful strikes powerful strikes will increase the effect of your poison's efficacy. Crit chance, crit damage, you know, all that stuff is going to be really good for you. Multicast, you really just can't go wrong with a lot of stats. Like, no matter what you pick, like block power and armor, you want to get those because you feel like you want to be a little bit tankier. That's fine, not necessary. But like, if you're feeling better or you're feeling like you're not as healthy, by all means. Area effect is also really good because we have the aura on us. That's going to be there. Increase the cast frequency of our Putrid Hound skill. And like we said in my Necromancer video, or after I found out after our Necromancer video, cast frequency is actually good for your summons. We'll take that one for our hounds because specifically it does make sure that your hounds are summoned more, but it also does... Oh, there's a legendary meat, by the way, from that Void Lord we just killed. but it also makes them attack faster. Increases crit chance of your hounds 30%. Absolutely. If our hounds can crit more, that's going to be fantastic because, again, as long as you keep them empowered, hound's strong. And the cool thing about summon units is that they will attack priority targets. That's something I haven't really brought up. But if there are a lot of enemies on screen and you have Void Lords up, they will gun for the Void Lord. So while you're busy trying to thin out, you know, enemies around you, you're actually going to have your trusty doggos increase movement and speed by 15%. Let's go ahead and take that one. You're going to have your trusty doggos taking down your prime target, which is really great. They are truly good boys. All right, let's head on over to a common objective. We need to clear them out so that way we can get higher rarity objectives. We are sitting at 8 of 15. And I actually had such a great time using this build earlier that I was actually clearing objectives without realizing I was clearing the objectives. That was pretty insane. There was a tentacle heresy, and as soon as it spawned, it immediately completed because my hounds tracked down the tentacles and ate them all. These are the kind of dogs that if someone told me they ate your homework, I am tempted to believe you. Get out of the ring of Kathaz over there. We're going to pick up some lethality. And sit underneath Kathaz, actually. Taking a bit of damage, but it's okay. Damage increase of volley. Not really going to be a big source of damage. If you want to, you can. I am going to choose to skip on making our dog stronger. There we go. Lethality. We'll do some power. Oh, these are all good. I'm actually going to take the powerful strikes. Take the agile. I would like to be moving faster. I do feel like, even though there's no negative movement penalty for the Houndmaster, I feel like I move slower as this character. I'm not entirely sure why. Void Lords. Gonna do that. I'm not entirely sure why we actually end up with feeling slower, but I definitely feel like I need to crank up my movement a little bit to make this work. Well, not make it work, but feel better about me playing. Let's see, lethality there. We got a health crystal and an uncommon. Oh, wait, I didn't get my objective experience. There we go. I also didn't get a treasure goblin on my last run when I was trying out this build. I really do hope we get one. I would love to have 20 free levels of XP. Death and Decay. Yeah, we'll just do that one. Move out of there. And we should only need one more objective. Yeah, okay. Oh, bonus. Get all this right here. There you go. Let's see what we got here. A reroll for our main skill is Threshing Blast. That's going to be doing the most damage for us because it does damage based off of your poison, I do believe. Also, Putrid Hounds. Putrid Hounds is going to annihilate the charts. That might actually be the hardest hitting ability we end up having at the top of our DPS charts. So just know that they are just absolutely monsters on their own. I'm going to go ahead and collect that. We're going to start this last objective. We're going to kill the scorpions, and then we're going to go kill a big scorpion named Mezahead. Alright, all that XP is gone. 330 on our potency for our poison. Great news. I do love the fact that your dogs get super small. They kind of look like dachshunds. They're small on the screen, and then like as you empower them, they become basically giant toxic king corsos. Alright, I am going to turn down the effects way down because for some reason I can never see effects like I need to when fighting Mezahead. I'm not entirely sure what causes that to happen, but it does. Good news is she did. Go ahead and collect that Titan power, and then we're going to search for the one that gives us extra poison tick. There we go. Poison now now causes damage more frequently. Right? And then we're gonna go, and we're actually gonna go to Aranak, believe it or not. And then I believe we actually can come back. I believe we're gonna go back and forth. I think it's gonna be Aranak, Mizahet, and then maybe Bro Kenth for some shatter to do some armor shred on our foes. Turn some of this visibility back up so we can actually see what's happening on screen. I like painting my screen green. Alright, there we go. Enemies are dying away. You know what? Let's take a damage boost on our Pestilent blast. Start working on getting our doggos empowered too. Why not? We're gonna get powerful strikes. 10% boost to our damage. Awesome. Area effect? Sure. Looks like that was an area effect for... Actually, we can see what I'll actually bring out the stuff. What was the one we just did? I saw it out the corner of my eye, but... multicast. Venom. No, we did area effect. Where is it? Ah, there we go. So yeah, our area effect is affecting literally all of our skills. Good. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to. Again, I have an issue where sometimes I just click on things, I see out the corner of my eye, and like, it's not that the game is actually, time isn't running when I'm making abilities, so I'm not entirely sure why I don't read through them, other than I'm just used to clicking on stuff fast. Increase the cast frequency. Hound, sure, why not? Keep on picking up dog meat. And you'll also notice, by the way, if you're looking at the Hound track right there with our dog running towards the thing of meat, as we pick up meat, you can see how the quality of the meat you're picking up is affecting your dogs. And once that meat is completely filled up, pretty much designates whether or not we're going to move up to the next level. Let's see. Attack speed, threshing blast. I'll take that. Almost filled up. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it before our... Oh, yeah, we did. Nice. Let's do... I'm going to level up Threshing Blast. Why not? We got only common objectives. Might as well go ahead and go and knock these out. Resist the presence of the void. All right, so we just got to outrun death a couple times. That's all. We can just naturally move unless we're being blocked. And still just, you know, avoid getting one-shot by death. Actually... I don't know if I've ever been hit by death, so I'm not even entirely sure if it is a one-shot, but I'd like to believe it is. That's why I'm on the move to get out of that. Any damage against me, I'm going to consider a one-shot. Because I am not taking any defensive buffs with me. I have not picked armor or block a single time yet with the Houndmaster. I'm going to re-roll... We'll take some Merciless. Corrosive would have been a good option, obviously. But that was a pretty high level of Merciless. We'll take some extra health. Looks like we have an epic objective over here. And it is Void Lords. I do like the size of our Corrosive Aura here. It does make sure that we're definitely in the range of everything here. All right, we're gonna move around here. I am going to dishy dash over here to the side a little bit. Gotta let them follow us. My dog should be taking care of most of it. Area effect of Threshing Blast and Venomous Volley, absolutely. Venomous Volley does have a weird arc to it, but it does cause weakness for everything. So we definitely want to make sure we're getting as much coverage on that as possible. What is our crit damage at? 590%. That's pretty great. We do need to worry about our lethality and also probably raising our damage modifier. That would actually be pretty great. I am going to take Magnet though, because I would like to get a... You know, anytime you have a chance to get Magnet, I would absolutely do it. Debilitating Plague. Whenever you apply poison, you may now apply Doom. I am going to take that. We're not going to focus on Doom, I tell myself. But we are, you know, Doom, look how fast Doom is applying. Because we're applying so much poison, all that Doom is also being applied. 390% poison damage. And we are on top of a treasure chest, which I had not realized. Well, we were. Now we are. Now we are again. All right, let's back up a little bit there. And I'm just going to hang out here by this treasure chest that just happens to be. So we can get all this delicious XP. Even more XP right there. Let's see. Oh, we only have one reroll left. Oh, I didn't realize I had burned through them so fast. I am not going to use any more rerolls. If only because I would like to get at least one reroll before we... Yep, there we go. We got one. Because I'd hate to get Aranak and not get what I want. And Aranax is the, I believe, the one we're going to be going for. Says that whenever we do poison, we have a chance to daze enemies. I'm going to stay away from all... Oh, no, that's actually... I'm going to take it this one time. All right, listen. Don't hate me, all right? Doom is just too good. It looks sexy. I like purple. You know? Whatever. It's not a big thing. Not unless you make it one, which I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's start making our way over to the blue objective. We do have one reroll in the bank like I would like to have. And we'll just go ahead and kill these spiders. All right, I really truly do dislike the fact that you do lose all of your empowered doggos whenever you, or anything that's with you. Like you lose your summons and all that whenever you're transitioning to a boss. All right, let's see if we can deal with Brood Mother and how fast we can deal with her. We started at 1041. How fast can we kill this thing? I don't know why I got hit by there, but I definitely got hit by something. There, now the damage is happening. All right, I'm gonna say that was about 15 seconds. I looked at it. It said 56 on the clock whenever I saw her die. Let's see. Whenever you apply poison, you may now apply Dazed. Dazed is going to increase our crit chance against enemies. Absolutely, we're gonna be doing a lot of poison. All right, next thing's next. I believe we're gonna go back to Mezzahet. Let me check my list here. Whenever you apply weakness, you may now also apply fragility. There is that. We could go for exposed. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that would probably benefit here. Because you really can kind of go wherever you want after. You don't have to take this route. Like if you wanted to go back to Aranak for the crit chance and the movement speed, that is totally on you. I would totally agree with you because movement speed would be fantastic. Again, I feel slow. Not that I am slow. I just feel that way. I think we're going to go back to Mizzahet, and I think we're going to go after Exposed. Ooh, and we have 2 rare and 1 uncommon objective. That is nice. Our corrosive aura is pretty large. I'm actually pretty happy with the size of that. And make our way to our first objective. Kill all the sand elementals. We get some multicast here in damage modifier for pesticide blast. I'll lock that one. All right, get some XP here. Let's do, I don't know why I re-rolled. Ooh, now I know why I re-rolled. We got a legendary area modifier. Increases the area modifier of pesticide blast or burst, corrosion, and putrid hounds. Yes, please and thank you. We're gonna go ahead and get corrosive. We're gonna take magnetic. Again, trying really hard not to boost the damage of Doom too much and focus on the poison. Just because I want to be thematic, but optimally, you can't get any more optimal for how awesome. You know what? That is a 30% damage boost. I'm already feeling like I'm moving slow. I'm gonna take it. How slow am I? I'm 96% fast, you know, but I don't know. That might be a head thing. 450% potency and a poison. Damage boost for our venomous volley, noxious shot. Yeah, I think that's good. What is our crit chance now? 59%, not bad. It's much higher against enemies who have the daze thing on it, and just know that it's not going to reflect in your crit chance whenever you look at that stat screen. You just kind of have to know that as long as you're building poison on foes, you're going to see a dazed icon next to your poison. It's a gray icon of a face of a man who looks like he's having not that great of a day. And the only way you really see it, like you can see it on our targets, but let's look at a Titan health bar. Good, but I totally don't want to. I'm gonna go with powerful strikes. Pesticide burst. Take damage bursts. I mean, I just saw 680 something stacks of dazed on a target. I have to assume that adds up to quite a bit of crit chance on that target. Ooh, some legendary flank steak. Comes straight from the booty of the void. I bet it tastes pretty delicious. Let's go ahead and take corrosive, because just because something is green doesn't mean I want it. Except for less than powerful strikes, then we want it. We got 4 rerolls. Let's reroll. Oh, an additional 50% boost to our pesticide burst, corrosion, and counts. Now our corrosive or corrosion is filled the entire screen, and I believe that hits every 0.5 seconds. Every 0.5 seconds, and it's got a 144% multicast chance on it. Now, that's insane. 270% area damage. Awesome. And remember, I believe corrosion also does damage based off the amount of stacks of poison on enemies. Yeah, no, so like corrosion has probably killed a lot of targets before they even get to us. Pesticide burst, threshing blast, venomous volley, noxious shot, or venomous volley and noxious shot. This is just 2 more skills better. We got an objective over here. Ooh. Take the magnetic. Ooh. Taking the behemoth. And the reason why I took magnetic there, by the way, is because I knew I was going to pick up a Soulstone as going to magnet all the XP on the map to me. And I would have rather got the immediate benefit for having a XP increasing perk on myself rather than just a little bit of extra health. Let's see. Multicast. Sure, why not? We're getting a lot of stacks of poison on these enemies. I haven't really been paying attention for real how many stacks of poison are going out. Some of these tankier fellas I'm seeing die with like 1,500 stacks of poison. It would probably be more stacks of poison if they weren't dying to Doom first. I'm gonna get some agile there. Mostly because of the fact I did make myself 15% slower earlier. Death and decay causes damage more frequently. You know, I think that actually also lines up. It's 100%, 150% more frequent. Probably also stacks with that 80% we got from Mezahet the first time we fought him. All right, turning down my visibility again. I keep on moving. I don't know what hit me there. Sometimes I get hit by this guy, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm getting hit by, because I was clearly outside of the red death circle for damage. There you go. Turn that back up. We're gonna go with exposed, I think. You can do weakness, but I think exposed affects everything. The weakness one would only affect enemies with weakness, and we only have the one weakness still, as far as I know. Yeah. And this is a 12% damage bonus. This would be really good, but I feel like maybe we'll get more benefit out of it. If I was making another run at Mezahet, I would pick up the weakness ability, because I think I actually found out that exposed, or sorry, fragility and exposed kind of work multiplicative. Wow, multiplicatively with each other. Man, I don't know why I'm fumbling words so hard, but my brain had to do some serious algebra to get through all of that one. Mental gymnastics and algebra. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted earlier. Your critical strikes may now apply poison, and our crit strike chance 99%. Mostly effective. I'm gonna go ahead and head for the rare objective here. It looks like it's Void Lords. And also, we're getting a lot of aptitude, which is increasing our crit damage, and our ammunition is doing all right. It's building at a fairly good speed. Those guys down. Those two guys down. Taking lethality. We're definitely over the 100% mark. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and take the powerful strikes. Ooh. Corrosion. Increasing our poison. Can we lock? We can lock. I'm going to take that relentless. So we'll work our way to the other uncommon one. My only hope for this run right here on this biome is seeing a treasure goblin, because this is the last one before we head to the Netherworld to fight the Void King. I'm gonna re-roll. Sure, why not? More area effect for our poison volley. Multicast, there we go. Where's our relentless? 90% cast frequency. Now we're at 100% cast frequency. Gnarly. I'm gonna go with agile. The other options were Leviathan, which would have been a decent pickup. I think it was a 10% boost there. That would be 10 or 15%. Let's see, area effect. I don't want to pass up a purple area effect. Like, yeah, I can barely see the edges of our corrosion, which wasn't affected by the last one we picked up, but I can barely see the edges. I was just making a comment about that. Pretty awesome. Multicast, yeah. I don't feel like our multicast is high enough, but we're doing the damages, so I'm not going to complain too bad. Did wiggle our way a little bit too close to that. Flamethrower it. More multicast. Yes. Thank you. A lot of abilities that are being affected. Damage increase of all of our nature abilities. Absolutely. That is a 30% damage bonus to all of our nature abilities. Well, why would I say damage increase to 90%? I'm going to take that over the pesticide blast. Like 40, 30, 45% bonus? I don't actually know. It's all there. I know it was pesticide first. We're going to go with corrosive. We're already applying poison with all our skills. I mean, that would still give us a bonus, don't get me wrong. But I think I just want to increase the efficacy of our poison. I think it's going to be best out of that versus skill. We're going to increase the damage of our crit hounds. Increase the damage of our putrid hounds. Absolutely. Take some XP here. I'll do some more multicast. Where's our multicast at now? One of the bonuses to our weapon was multicast. We're at 147% multicast. Nice. We got an uncommon. We got two uncommon in gem. You know what? Add a little extra poison to our poison. We could have done the agile. Would have been a good pickup. Get a merciless. Got some void lords here. Reroll. I don't want to see the edges of my corrosive. It just updated. I saw. Man, I can see like the very, very corners of it. Awesome. I don't care about health. I mean, I care about my health. But, I don't think we really have much to worry about on that front. I'm gonna go with magnetic. I could go with armor. I dare to be bold. Let's make our way to the last objective right here to our left. Looks like it's Tentacles of Heresy. I'll take the lethality, I think. whenever you're playing poison, the Doom thing, that'd be great. I mean, it's more Doom damage. Again, want to be poison themed, but that Doom one would have been a really, really good solid pick. I was hoping we would get this passive perk called Rotting, which basically does a percentage of our poison damage up front. It doesn't look like we're going to get that lucky today. I'm going to turn my visibility down just a bit because his attacks do have a very huge AoE, and I don't want to, you know, mess up, get hit by something. Doesn't matter, he's dead. That was really fast. We're going to get Shattered. Shattered, of course, being Armor Shred. And as you take powerful strikes or upgrade skills, those different things, they shred even more armor. All right.
Let's open that cursed primordial portal.
On to the Netherworld. We're making good time. 17 minutes, 30 seconds. That's a pretty fast time for Hound Master. Into the Netherworld. Let's see how fast we can. Come on, good boys. You can't just sit outside the Netherworld portal. You gotta come in here with me. Ooh. And we have an uncommon, a rare, and an epic objective all at the same time. Let's go down the list. Take out these Void Lords first. And if you haven't caught on, I can see what type of objective it is based off of whatever statue is sitting right there in the middle. It just happened to be the statue with like a raised weapon. And that's usually the indicator for a Void Lord fight. In case. 690% poison damage. Awesome. All your attacks made on plane. 23,000 poison damage. Okay. Corrupted Protectors. I didn't remember what these guys are called. I do like the way those guys look. They have like that fuchsia sheen on them. I don't actually know if that's fuchsia. I'm gonna guess that's exactly what that is. Multicast on Corrosion or amp our poison up even further, which is exactly what I'm. Damage increase on Pesticide Burst. Sure, why not? Let's head over to the epic objective. This should get us to 9 Void Fragments. Corrupted Pages. Okay. Multicast on Toxic Shot, or Noxious Shot. The one thing I don't like about this objective is I found out that earlier, whenever Void Lords spawn, if you fight them over here, sometimes, ooh, an extra dash. Now we got 3 dashes. Sometimes the extra Void Lords will actually spawn on the other side of that wall, so you actually have to cross over the bridge there. Which isn't too cumbersome to deal with. 40% boost to Venomous Volley and Noxious Shot. But I was like fighting around that one area, and I couldn't figure out where my targets were, and didn't realize that they were literally on the other side of the bridge. Damage modifier for pounds. Stronger. Pick up all the legendary meats. Takes a gas chance on literally every single one of my skills. And we need to complete these 2 uncommon objectives, and we will have what we need to fight the Corrupted Arcane Weaver. Powerful strikes, sure. I'm not going to re-roll anymore. I'm just going to have to take what we get, just so that way we can basically get some more re-rolls. You guys are dead. Your critical strikes may now fight Doom. I don't want to pass that up. Again, we haven't been focusing on Doom too much. It is a very poison heavy build. And unfortunately, we didn't get Rotting, which is basically the poison version of Doom. Go ahead and grab. I'm going to go for the uncommon one. I could finish this off with the common objective right next to us, but 4 XP. I was going to reroll, and then I did because I'm a dummy. Big Merciless. There we go. I'll take the extra damage. 780% extra poison there. I want to take you, Doom. You're so sexy. Blinking it over there, like, click me. Wrong. Isn't the Hounds of Doom to love? Alright, let's head all over to the Void King. Show him who's boss.
The king has opened my eyes. Allow me to close yours forever.
I'm about to lay you down to sleep. The dogs are gonna dig a hole in the ground, and we're gonna bury you in there, and they might actually like pee on you a bit because that's kind of what they do. All right, what do we want? We got one reroll. We could chance it, or we could just take what we got right here. I mean, our damage modifier, 205%. I think we could do. I think we could be fine. Fire and less movement. Hey, there we go. Infected wounds. More poison based off our crit. Get out here, you nerd. Oh, that's right. We got to step on the sigil. He's so fancy.
Void King, aren't you coming?
I do hope and eventually they make this one a little bit faster. It hurts your times. Not that this is like, you know, we're racing each other, but it gets solid 5 seconds of me just waiting for him to rise out of the ground. Pinch it off and get up here. Let's turn visibility back up. Just gonna move over here. They all exploded. And remember, if you have objectives like meat on the ground, stuff like this, your dogs will not benefit from it until the fight actually starts. So I wouldn't pick these up until the fight officially starts. I don't think we're gonna get enough meat to empower the dogs. Is he dead already? Oh, I didn't want to pick up the meat. Ooh, we have a legendary meat down. Oh, we're definitely gonna level up our dogs right here to start this fight.
Boys only ruled nothing, and now nothing is.
Okay, yeah, let's start it. Oh. Alright, how nice of you. We free level up. I'll sit right here. Can we just, like, do this? Can we just tank the damage? I'm gonna tank it. He did. That was what? 2 seconds? 3 seconds? Pretty quick. Clear.
King's gone, but not in their remain.
Cool. Nothing matters. Oh, look, we can get fragility. Doesn't matter.
We got a lot of work to do.
In the run. Alright, just like I thought, Putrid Hounds at the top of the list, Threshing Blast being our second most powerful ability because it did do damage based off our poisons. So there's that. Corrosion actually doing a bit of damage for us, but it was probably our biggest poison spreader. And of course, we took Venomous Volley mostly for the weakness that it applied. As far as Noxious Shot, I just kind of wanted to check this one out because we had a lot of damage modifiers on here, especially for crit damage. And I believe our weapon by default actually gives us crit damage. So Noxious Shot here giving us the aptitude, which increases our crit damage by 4% every time it's stacked, is really, really nice. As far as your passes you take as you level up, I would definitely focus mostly on multicast and cast frequency so that way you have as much poison up at any given time as you can. Having health really isn't a big deal, neither is block or armor. I would also focus on making sure you get as many stacks as powerful as you could. Your lethality getting up there is also pretty nice. There really isn't any bad stats to pick from when it comes from character. I tried to mostly focus on having your damage, your crit chance, and your crit damage. Wow, words are hard. I tried as much to focus on the damage modifier, crit chance, and critical damage. There we go. As well as like getting the, the odd multicast here and there. It turns out we got a lot of area modifier in there, which is fine because most of that actually ended up going into our corrosion, which has made the area of effect even broader. That's a really nice pickup. But again, you don't have to follow this build. Just picking any of the normal skills that are in the Houndmaster set that gives you poison really is going to do the job. These are all fantastic skills. I generally end up skipping over Poison Bolt in favor of Acid Rain, as well as Poison Cloud. And Poison Puddle is really good because it causes Debilitate, which makes your enemies deal less damage to you. And Pestilence is also a really good skill because it does poison damage based off the amount of stacks of poison, and it basically it's like a chain poison. It's really awesome. So like, you don't have to follow the build that I chose here. I just wanted to try using other poison skills, and I find that to be just the best part of the game, trying out different skills. As far as the weapon goes, again, we used, what was this, Toxin Cannon? Toxin Cannon, actually, I nailed it. With 100% crit damage, 55% multicast, and 30 extra health. You don't have to have this at +7. That just happened to be what I have it as. As far as our runes go, our versatility runes were Weapon Expert for those double skills, reroll Mastery, so we have an extra reroll every 5 levels, and of course we use Skill Mastery Nature in order to basically get the skills that we want. And just to show it again, if you want to use those same skills, you Skill Mastery Nature. The ones that we took were Corrosion for the area effect, the Putrid Hounds because we're a Houndmaster. Why wouldn't we have extra? And I chose to go with Noxious Shot and Venomous Volley, but you couldn't go wrong if you wanted to take something like Infected Shot. Hell, you couldn't actually go wrong if you wanted to use a lot of these other skills. Contagion could be really good paired with Corrosion because you'd have a lot of poison stacking up, and then you'd have something removing it and doing a whole lot of damage. Hell, you could even had a Putrefy here to like basically apply poison instead of having Corrosion. Entirely on you. There's a lot of variety here for you to take. For our Tenacity runes, we want Dash Mastery because we never leave home without it. Death Touch for that extra explosion and poison that happens around enemies when they die. Elemental Flow, so that way our poison basically does more damage in the same amount of time. It's pretty great. And Vulnerable Exploit, and you don't have to take this. If you're going with normal mode and you're not doing Titan Hunt and you're not planning up picking up Dazed from, I believe that's Aranak who drops that Titan power, then there's no point in taking this. You're only taking this if you choose to get the Titan power from Aranak. You can literally pick anything else you want. You can probably go with Multicast Mastery as a pretty good solid. So there is that option. As far as skill tree goes, I didn't show this when we started because I was a big numbnuts and forgot to show off to people who have not seen this before. Your trait is Hound's Feast. The Houndmaster may now collect food from defeated enemies, which can be used to feed the hounds, healing them and making them well fed, which grants major improvements based on how well fed. As always, whenever you're leveling up your skill tree for the first time, I would mostly specifically target these nodes that affect your Houndmaster's Hound's Feast. There is 2 nodes that I would actually harp on are more important though. As you can see right here, we have a little icon with a dog. This actually increases the number of dog companions you have with your character. There's even one at the far end of the tree whenever you unlock the last few perks in the tree. So I definitely pick those up because I think you have 3 hounds at start, but with those 2, obviously it adds up to 5. And having extra hounds in the field who are empowered, it's going to be awesome. Anyways, that was the build. Did you like the build? Did you like the game? This is the skin also. I forgot to tell you, I unlocked the skin. It is called the Alpha Houndmaster's Regalia. This is what he normally looks like. He kind of looks like a nerd. Now he looks like a witch hunter. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's the build. If you like this sort of content, you want to see more guides like this, make sure you are like, subscribe, comment down below. If you would like me to try and build, or if there's a certain character you would like me to play, make sure you leave that in the comments. If there's a specific weapon, leave that as well. And I'll see what I can do. Anyways, you guys take care, and I'll catch you all in my next. Later.